This video is a presentation of aggressive behavior and displays in the Canada goose. Aggressive displays show a neck bent into an S shape, head lower to the ground or water level, mouth slightly open, and wings slightly raised. If the intruder doesn't retreat or retreats not quickly enough, the goose will charge. It will make contact and clamp down. After clamp release, the goose will return to its original position. There may or may not be vocalization during this process. Tinbergen's 4 levels of analysis can be addressed when observing goose aggression. These 4 levels address the questions: what is the mechanism? How is this behavior developed? What is the evolution? And finally, what is the function of the behavior? To address mechanism, the hypothesis formed is that the goose's aggressive behavior is visually stimulated. They have set some sort of mental parameter of allowable proximity for an intruder. Once the spatial threshold is breached, the goose defends itself, its mate, resources, young, or territory. This hypothesis is supported in a publication by Dennis Raveling, who states that the geese establish spatial relationships, and these proximal relationships cue a corresponding behavior. Another article in Science Direct found connection between corticosteroid levels and aggression, so this may be an additional mechanism. As far as developmental properties, the behavior seems to start young. I observed aggressive behavior in goslings and hypothesized that this was learned behavior from watching adults. In other words, it was imprinting. However, after reading an article by Thomas Atkinson and Dennis Raveling, I discovered this isn't entirely true. They performed a study in removing hatchlings from their parents and raising them in an isolated environment. As yearlings, they still portrayed this signature aggressive behavior without having ever observed it in front of an adult goose. This suggests that the behavior is instinctual and was still developing geese that did not have behavior to copy from their parents in a natural environment. Evolutionarily speaking, I hypothesize that aggressive behavior has transcended over time and generation because it has been beneficial to the geese and had a successful payoff for defending mates, young, resources, and territory. My hypothesis is supported in an article by Paul Johnsgaard, whose team conducted research on waterfowl. They observed females inciting aggressive behavior in males. This implies that the aggression is positively selected for, and that the trait passed on from generation to generation. Finally, we address the function of aggressive behavior. Protecting resources helps ensure safety and sufficient nutrition. Protecting a mate and its progeny ensures successful passing on of genes. So hypothetically, acting aggressively enables the goose to obtain and maintain all of its needs. Citing the same article from Science Direct, the research team noticed that the more attached a gander was to his mate, the more aggressively he'll protect her and the territory and young, supporting the hypothesis that geese act aggressively to protect what is biologically valuable. Acts of aggression serve as communication for the Canada goose. This communication is auditory and visual, as well as physical. In adult healthy geese, the communication is honest, and the goose will follow the visual or auditory display with a bite if the intruder does not retreat quickly enough. Injured geese and young goslings appear to have dishonest communication, and that they bluff and will not follow through with a physical bite if the intruder does not retreat quickly enough. However, the message is always the same: go away.